We are back. I've just had a briefing of all of the players and the officials for the ZLTAC 2019 Solos Grand Final that we have coming up. Coming to you live from the Sunshine Coast. My name is Drake, I play on the WA Sharks. Joining me here is Cougar from the Renegades. We will be streaming with you live for the very first time the ZLTAC Grand Final.
This is it's a first. It's an absolute first, and it's actually really, really exciting. So, just a couple of provisos, guys, that we're going to let everyone know, because obviously a lot of people out there on the internet will know the people here. In between games, everyone has actually been evacuated from the building. So we actually have a scoreboard set up outside the site. So if players have stayed around and want to watch the finals, they can do so. But we are allowing the solo finalists back down here into the foyer area, and we've locked the doors. Drake and I have been locked in the commentary booth. We literally cannot leave. So we cannot commentate in between games so that players can't hear us. So we will unfortunately be going radio silent. We won't mute the microphone.
We will be able to chat into the chat, that we are able to interact with you there so we can answer questions there. That is something we will be able to do. But unfortunately the players may be able to hear us, and we absolutely do not want them having any information about the games after the games at all. But we will be giving you as much details as we possibly can during this game, and it is absolutely amazing that we are even able to stream this at all.
Absolutely. So I know I'm going to sound probably a little bit simmy-ish, but if anyone out there in the world has any form of communication with our solo finalists, please refrain from doing so. The last thing you want is to put your friend into jeopardy. So please do not attempt any communication with any of our finalists until after game number 5, just in case.
All of their mobile phones have been confiscated. So all the communication devices should have been removed from the building. There are several ways of communication in there, but they are with restricted officials. We have communication with the outside world here, but we are not allowed to leave from this room, and that is the only way that any communication or anything about the results is going to be available anywhere. As it is, we have already taped up the stream room here, so there is no way that anyone could possibly see the scoreboards that we have visible here. I don't know if we've got a remote for that TV that we might be able to turn it off between games, just as an absolute worst case scenario.
Oh yeah, we do. It's right here.
Fantastic.
So a couple of questions quickly in the chat, guys. Are we going to get a game-by-game results so we can keep up with how players are doing overall? Being that it's drop your best, drop your worst, that might be a little bit hard, VDark, until the end. We will try and give you the best analysis that we can of how players are going in the competition as much as we can.
But Gemster, yes, the results will be announced. We are going to know in under an hour's time who our ZLTAC 2019 champions will be.
Absolutely, and that's probably the most exciting thing about this as well, guys. We've never done this before. We've only literally live streamed one grand finals, which was teams last year in Albury, and this year we are basically showing every single one of them except for 3, which is solos, women's and masters, just because it will be a little bit too hard to
Too many people inside the foyer at once. So at the moment, we're going to have absolutely 0 people other than the designated officials that are designated to watch the foyer in the foyer. So it'll just be the players that are going into the games that will be coming out and having their need breaks.
So if you would like to do your own personal math, remembering it is drop your best, drop your worst out of these 5 games, then please do so. More than happy for the communication to continue in the chat. We do highly encourage it. But just as a reminder, if you do have any form of contact with our finalists, please refrain from doing so for probably about the next hour. As I said, we will be going radio silent in between games, and there will be a roughly 5-minute break in between games.
Do not in any way attempt to talk to any of our players. Do not send them any messages until after the results have been announced. for safe warning.
Yep.
If they are caught with communications on their phone that have been seen during the competition, they will be disqualified. And we don't want you to be the cause of that.
You don't want to be sitting at home going, hey, I'm going to...
Message a friend, hey, that was a really great game, you're winning.
Yeah.
And then have them lose.
Get knocked out, absolutely. So, just seeing on the cameras that the players are now in the arena, so they will be setting up.
We are just waiting for the first game to begin. There are players in, and we will be going live to the scoreboard.
Absolutely.
Here we
go.
First game. So again, thank you for everyone that is joining us for the first time. We'll quickly run over what the Solos format is for anyone that is seeing this for the first time or watching it in replay. We are going to be clipping this as well and making it available later as well. So the Solos game.
So, Solos games are an 8-minute game, so a little bit shorter than our standard 12-minute games. We have 7 lives, 45 shots from the phaser before you do need to go and reload, whatever happens to run out first. Your deactivated time when you are tagged is 8 seconds. There are no bases. Green camera is frozen.
Yep.
There are no bases in the game, which means that the base areas are free play. So unlike other events where you have to evacuate when you have been deactivated, you do not have to do that in this game. It is literally a points game, pack on pack. We have 22 players in this arena. So it should be a very rare circumstance that you are not engaged in some form of laser tag combat. So just having a quick look, we do have, what have we got? Fitzy is currently leading the way with Guinea right there as well. Ninja is actually not too far behind. So Guinea and Fitzy are really out there to not allow Ninja any breathing room at all. So Drake, if you were in this finals game, would you target Ninja? Like, let's be honest. There's probably going to be a decent amount of people in that arena that are going, you know what? They'll want one of two things. Oh, they'll probably want both. Yep. They don't want Ninja to win. That's just the bare bones of it. They know how good Ninja is. They want to be the guy that said, hey, look, I took the Solos trophy away from Ninja.
Yep.
The other thing that you want to do is you've got a few international players in there. Yep. And the last thing that you want is for the trophy to leave Australia.
Yep.
So there's got to be that style of competition in there. So do you think that the international guys like, you know, your ZLTACs, your Dexter are going to get targeted? And do you think that Ninja is going to get heavily targeted?
I don't think that the international guys are going to get targeted, but one person you've left off your list there, Butzer.
Yes, but the thing that I'm interested in as well is that Ninja has been so loud in terms of I'm here and I'm kind of the new Butzer. In a way.
Looks a lot like him as well.
And has we're going to have to find some interesting for just we worked out a couple of days ago when we were doing the headshots for the 5x3 scoreboard you saw for the day. If you quickly rotate in between Ninja and Butzer's photos, it looks like Ninja is morphing into Butzer. It's quite funny.
It's really good.
We're going to try and get a
See
proper
if we
one
can get a gif of that going there.
Absolutely. So Dexter has actually taken the lead.
Just over Ninja.
Wham Fox is actually up there. One of our senior technicians here on the commentary team, as well as one of the reigning champions, the Wolfpack, is right up there. And you wouldn't necessarily think of Wham Fox as a solo player.
No,
you think about him
not.
as a defensive player.
Yeah. But he's just an absolute solid player no matter where he's playing
good.
in and around the arena.
I think out of everyone on the Wolfpack, Wham Fox is kind of the person who, when they talk about how good the Wolfpack is, Wham's the one that people forget.
Yep.
They'll always talk about your Lakios, your Huskies,
and
your Waxes, your
there.
Grubs.
Yep.
And they forget about Wham.
Yep.
You know, Payne as well, obviously, Daddy Payne.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's so good to see him up there. And the scary thing is, we have, 4 Wolfpack in this game?
Yeah.
As well? So they've probably got the largest contingent from the same
Husky,
team.
Wham, Lakio, and Wax are all sitting on that front page of the top 13 players as well. Husky currently in second place as well.
Absolutely. So we got Method, unfortunately, down the bottom there a little bit as well. Falcon, our youngster, he's trying to find his feet. Now remember that losing this first game is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you can walk out of your first solos game and go, you know what? I know that was my bad game. I feel it. I know it. I'm going to wipe that off now because now I can walk into the remaining 4 with a clean slate.
But you never be wanting to go in there with your first game and thinking, oh, that's my drop game already. All right, now the remaining 4, they're all going to count, or you know, I need all the remaining ones to be good. I've lost that safety buffer, and then your brain can really start to get to you, and you really can start to stress about the games as they're going.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Quickly, let's have a look in between in the chat here. So we've got a lot of WA support there from Midget and AJ Rules.
So Midget, just to clarify, we are not allowed to talk during the games because there are players that are only a few meters behind us here. We are in the same room there. We are literally separated by a curtain. We may be able to chat to you through our text chats here. We do have access to the chat, but we will be muting the microphone and we will be remaining quiet between the games.
Absolutely. So unfortunately, we won't be able to give you necessarily a breakdown of the previous game. Maybe until the following game, we will attempt to do that. We do like here in the commentary to really focus on the game that is currently happening. But yeah, we will definitely try and talk to you guys and do a little bit of a breakdown in the chat there as well.
Speaking of the Wolfpack boys, when I just last saw it, all 3 of them were sitting in first, second, and third. Husky, Lakio, Wham Fox. Sitting first, second, and third.
The Wolfpack clean
sweep.
So
that is absolutely incredible, and that's absolutely a real threat.
No, absolutely. So I was actually having a quick chat when we were outside having our briefing, and everyone was just walking around and getting into the mood and stuff. I spoke to a couple of players, and I saw Wax with probably the most serious look on his face I've ever seen. And I went up to him and I said, mate, you've got this. You've absolutely got this. And he's just like, he said, I just want to beat Ninja. I just want to beat Ninja. And I said, mate, if there's anyone who's going to beat Ninja, it's going to be you.
Yep.
He absolutely has the skills. He absolutely has the talent. And he knows this.
Yep.
You know, Wax, though, is young. He can be a little bit emotional. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Emotion can drive you to do bigger and better things. And particularly over the last year and a half, 2 years, he has grown so much as, not height-wise, because he's already reached his peak.
Much, exactly.
But he has grown to such a fantastic laser tag player.
Yeah.
And to see someone, you know, like Wax, who I honestly feel he doesn't necessarily get the props that he deserves.
Absolutely.
Because he's at the most competitive site, arguably in Australia, playing out of Laser Zone Brisbane.
Yep.
He's in the most competitive state in Australia with arguably the 2 best players in Australia playing there with Butzer and Ninja. So it will be interesting to see.
Well, you may have missed earlier. He was playing. They had Wolfpack had 3 teams games earlier today, and in one of those games, Wax took out the all-time tags record, taking 93 tags in a game.
That's gross. Yeah, that's absolutely disgusting.
93 tags.
I'm going to steal Ibo saying that is disgusting.
He only got 1 base. But he got 93 tags in a single game, which is the all-time since the Helios era.
Yeah.
It is the highest number of tags in a single team's game ever in history.
So just jumping back into the game, so this game has just ended, guys, so we're just going to keep our voices down, but it's just finished off with Lakio, Wham, Moldy, Husky, and Butzer finishing up the top there as well. So we will now be muting the microphone. We will be able to communicate with you guys in chat.
Thank you very much. So we are back now. Let me just bring up the cameras for you there. We are back. The players have just gone back into the arena for their second game. We did get confirmation from the tournament coordinator that there were no post-game terminations awarded to the players in there. There was a briefing, a referee clarification given to all of the players there between the games, and we assume that's going to keep happening there. But again, it's just a warning and a general warning to make sure people are staying out of the way and obeying the rules.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll just do a quick recap of the previous game. So we have Lakio, 61,080 points. We have Wham Fox. Now this is actually really interesting because Wham Fox is actually a little bit behind. He's only on 56,000, so about 400 points behind. Moldy, 53,000. Husky, 52,000. Butsa, 50,000, 5,000.
5,000.
What am I doing?
Yeah, hundreds.
It's been a long day, folks. Butsa, 5,000. Dexter also on 5,000, actually getting the exact same score as Butsa. The Leg also up there, 48,020 points. Fitzy, 4,510. Margie, 4,300. My God. Guinea, 4,100. Ninja, 39.
Wow. What position did he get in there?
He got 11th.
11th.
He got 11th.
So he's behind at the moment. But we wonder if people know that. We wonder if people know that. We were hearing some comments from some of the players out there about who they thought was winning, and everyone was saying it's their drop game. We're not going to be repeating what they have been saying in any specific way. That is private for them, and it is not for us to be repeating out to you guys.
Let's just say it was interesting.
Yes.
It was very
absolutely.
interesting.
We had a bit of a giggle hearing what they were saying.
It was very good. It was very, very good.
Yes.
So let's just have a quick look at this game. So Butsa off to a really slow start, only 160 points in. We're about a couple of minutes into the game. Blitz deciding that he wants to put his foot down. 1,820.
Well.
Moldy is up there. Lakio is still up there. Ninja is up there as well. So Ninja is the type of player, I think, though, to recognise that he hasn't had the game that he wanted to. I think Ninja's personally probably aiming for that 5,500, 6,000 per game. Purely because he knows he can do it. And realistically, he knows that he only needs to do that 4 times.
Yep.
Realistically.
Yep.
And he's golden.
Yep.
So
if you're Ninja and you have a bad first game, or you feel like you've had a bad first game, what do you do in a game 2?
As I was saying before, you've got that argument of, if you know you had a really bad first game, you just have to go into your mind and just refresh and go, you know what? That's absolutely the game that doesn't count now, and it's time to put the foot down and go. It's gonna be interesting to see how he does come back from this. Now, for people who don't know, Ninja over the last 6, 7, 8 months has actually been taking his personal health very well. So he's been going to the gym. He's started to lean out. He's started to bulk up. He looks
looking amazing.
If you haven't seen Ninja in the
even
last
relative to the last
8 or 9 months, the man looks incredible. He really, really does.
Yeah.
And I keep telling him he needs to start making a zone fitness plan. But the thing is that Ninja, like players like Ninja, will have the endurance to go through, because these style of games, while we do give players a 5-minute rest, these games are all in, 100% octane all the way. It's going to be hard to back up game after game after game after game after game and try and keep that high average. So this is really where your personal fitness comes into it, and do you have the cardio to continue to go? But then you've got the opposite end of the spectrum. You'll have players like, just because I know them well, you'll have players like Raven, who do like to play the long game. She's the type of player that will go, you know what, while I know I have the endurance to probably go 3 out of the 5, I'm going to play the first couple of games smart. Not burn myself out. Then come game, probably halfway through game 3, game 4, now's the time that I'm going to burn my energy. And she will then go. You know.
Now,
So-
Raven absolutely has the advantage in terms of that because she plays multiple 5-game solo series every year.
Absolutely.
Without having to qualify for these grand finals, which is the way that most of these guys are going to be getting experience from doing that. Every year she gets to play a 5-game solo series against all of the other women just by registering for that event.
Absolutely.
And she does amazingly well in those year after year after year consistently. So she absolutely has the most experience out of any of these players, save maybe a couple like a Butzer or in terms of playing a 5-game series. Although some of Butzer's wins were back before, or some of his grand finals were before we moved to this 5-game series
They were still
and
three.
the 8-minute things as well.
No, absolutely. So just jumping back into this game, I just quickly saw before we went back to the other scoreboard that Lakeo was still topping the scoreboard. So that will be 2 back-to-back games so far that Lakeo is there. Moldy is up there. And Ninja has decided that he wants to start making his presence felt, along with Bakura. And Wax, who had a very average game last game, we were talking about it, he's decided that he's going to start pushing himself up there as well. But maybe Wax is also that style of player who's decided he's going to play the long game, rather than be someone like a Ninja and go, you know what, I've got to go whole ham for these 5 games.
Yeah. Bakura as well, you know, he did really great in the first game as well. So it's really good to see him sitting up there as well. Bakura was sitting at about the middle of the pack after the first games, but it's really good to see him getting out a good game there. Again, we're sitting in second place at the moment, just behind our current leader in Lakeo.
Absolutely. So Fitzy and Blitz have actually also moved into top 10 as well. So it's good to see some different names in the top 10 list outside of the traditional ones that we will talk about year in and year out and all that type of stuff as well. So they've started to make their presence felt. Butsu, unfortunately, is in the bottom half of the ladder. So that's actually really interesting. That arguably one of the best laser tag players in the world is not really making his presence felt in that top half of the solo game.
Absolutely. Butzer is by far the most prolific winner of solos and in the solos competitions in the past as well. So it's really quite surprising to see him actually make the grand final and then not do incredibly well in it. He has taken some years off of solos in the past. There have been times where he's won it the previous year and then had too many duties on. I believe he didn't play in Brisbane, I think it was. But just taking the year off from solos as well.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You'll have a lot of players, and we'll use me as an example. I like to play everything, but that might not necessarily be the best idea. I mean, you look at, you know, I don't know how you guys went with your training games. We had our last training game at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I had to back up for Lord of the Rings at 7:30. That was not a great day for me personally. It was a very, very difficult day. So I think we are starting to enter into an age now with our competition where a lot of the more experienced players who have been around maybe for that 5-6 year mark are going to start picking and choosing their spots, or at least the smart ones are going to start picking and choosing their spots. So they're going to go, you know what, this year I'm going to target solos, doubles, triples. I'll skip my Masters event that I qualify for. I'll skip Lord of the Rings, and obviously everyone's going to be doing the teams event. And we have to leave that there, guys.
Just been given the quiet, so we'll be back soon.
Alrighty, guys, we are back into game number 2. Now, we have a couple of little bits of information for you from that previous game. We have a couple of verbal warnings that the referees have handed out, unsurprisingly, to both Butzer and Giddy, for unsafe movement.
Yep.
So, there you go. And while we can't see that represented on the scoreboard, being that it doesn't show up on this particular version of the scoreboard, there was actually a full level 1 termination issued to the leg for unfortunately covering. So just to let you know, that may have actually played a factor in those last results.
But that was given during the game there, so that will be reflected into his score there. So whatever the score was up on there
Absolutely.
is final, and we were not told of any post-game terminations, which I believe if we were told of everything else, there would not be any more post-game terminations on that.
Absolutely. So just to do a quick brief rundown of the second game, Lakio winning again. 6,600. Bakura 5,600. Dexter 5,100. Wax making his presence known now. 5,100. Blitz also making his presence known at 5,000. Ninja still having a little bit of a rough time. Still having a little bit of a rough groove. He's only on 4,800. Moldy 4,800. Madcan's 4,400. Last year's third place winner Yor 4,200, Memeless 4,100, Margie on a neat 4,000, Fitzy 3,900, and Raven 3,700.
Let's talk about our Europeans for a moment there. We've got GP Kunamo in the chat there, of course, who was playing on the GP team
last year. Yes.
Here in Albury. So again, hi Kunamo, it's good, nice to see you there in the chat, supporting your teammates in Dexter and Yor in this grand final there. They are both doing very well, but also Xylitol as well. Kuno is saying in Europe they always play 3 games without they used to have drop games and they no longer have drop games anymore.
Yeah.
It makes it really, really different if you are in a situation where you know that you don't have any drop games or anything like that, that every score counts. We did play in a tournament back home a while ago where there was no drop games and a lot of teams had an absolute bomb out first game and then they're just like, well, we can't win now. What do we do for the rest of it?
That's it. I think the both systems tend to have their advantages. I think the advantage with doing the 5-game system, drop your best, drop your worst, is that you want to. You feel like you're always in it. You feel like you've always got another chance.
You're never going to give up.
You're never going to give
Absolutely.
up. Whereas with a 3-game series, if you have a really bad first game, then there's that chance that you go, you know what?
Yep.
I'm done. I'm out. Who was the person that shot me the most that last game? Oh, it was you. I'm going to target you and make sure you don't win.
Or, you know, again, I never want to suggest anyone's colluding or there, but like, you know, if I'm going to give my points to anyone, I'm going to give it to my friend over there.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, let's face it, it's probably happened in the past, but you would hope that, particularly in the way that our game is set up now, that everyone would not do that.
No, absolutely. Like all 22 of these people that they've got in there are absolutely out there to win, and I would never expect any of those players to be in any position to be colluding.
Absolutely.
They absolutely will be trying their hardest in every single game to try and get a position, even if they think they're absolutely out of it. You know.
Yeah. Well, let's now talk. If we're going to use the pop culture references, let's talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Yep. Good.
Who do you think's at Super Saiyan God level right now? It's Lakio.
Absolutely.
You know, the guy has decided that he's gone God Blue, and he is just screaming through it. While Ninja is absolutely winning this game, and watch this, I'll be proven wrong as soon as it goes. No, it's at 30 points. Lakio is just putting his foot down. He's going for it. I mean, well done. Husky is also right up there as well. So Husky really doesn't want to be left out of the conversation when it comes to quote unquote who the best Wolfpack player is, and he really wants to make himself known. Wax is a little bit behind, he's a little bit slower, 2,900, whereas Husky is currently on 4,100, so Wax has got a lot of work to do. Butzer as well. He's still sitting in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
So maybe we got our predictions wrong, and
Maybe.
Butzer is being targeted in the arena.
Yeah, maybe. We did pull up the results from last year's solos as well, and Butzer made grand finals, but he ended up finishing 12th out of 25 as well. So he finished in the middle of the pack in that competition.
So
last
is
year
it
as well.
more now that Butzer's got a little bit of a curse put on him, that come finals, people are going to assume that he's the instant winner and that he's the guy that we need to take pack points away from?
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, like, I don't want to say it, and no one ever should say it or think this, but maybe he's lost his edge. Maybe Butzer's reign on the solos is over.
Maybe.
Now we've got players like your Ninja, your Lakio, you know, even some of these other guys. Husky's sitting up there at the moment. Moldy has had 2 big games in the first 2 games as well before.
No,
you know,
absolutely.
any of
And
those games.
Lakio's just tipped over 5,000 points, and we've still got about 3 minutes left of this game. So Lakio, you would think that if Lakio wins the next game, let's hypothetically say Lakio's about to take out this game again, because Ninja's dropped off a little bit. Yor has actually started making move up. Remember, Yor is our 3rd place finalist from last year. So you cannot take out Yor from this conversation. He's a fantastic solo pack-on-pack player.
Absolute machine in the arena.
Absolute machine in the arena. But yeah, look, and Lakio and Husky. Husky's just decided to move up. Ninja is being pushed down. You know, these guys do not want Ninja to win for whatever reason. But yeah, no, this is super good. But yeah, you would think that if Lakio wins the next game, and let's just say he's winning this game, he's won. He's won solos. You know,
it's going to be extremely, extremely hard for anyone to catch him at this point.
Did Lakio play solos last year?
Yes, he did.
Did he play solos in Brisbane?
I don't know about Brisbane, but Lakio ended up finishing 16th in solos, making the grand final last year.
This is the year of the Lakio. Oh, it could happen, guys.
Now, the game has just finished, so we will be preempting them and telling us to be quiet. So again, we will interact with you in chat some more. But again, thank you. That was game 3 of the 5-game series of the Solos Grand Final.
Yeah, we will be back, guys.
are back for Game 4 of the Solos. We did have one termination handed out in that game to Gaza for a barrier breach.
Naughty
Yeah.
boy.
It's really unfortunate that must have been in that red base there.
Yeah.
It's very likely. It's a shame we didn't pick it up there. I believe that is him there in red at the moment. I will bring up the red camera if I can for a moment and show you some of the action happening in there. Who do we have playing around there?
That's ZLTAC.
ZLTAC?
That's ZLTAC there, yep, in the bottom. He does stand out a little bit.
But you can absolutely see there is a huge number of players in and around that red base there. But both Gaza and Method from our WA representatives in there not had amazing first games. They've been sitting towards the bottom there. I believe this is Gaza's first solo finals as well. I'm not sure if he's made finals in anything else before. But again, he is doing an absolutely amazing job on the WA Grizzlies. He's one of their main pack pointers out there and has been taking out things there. But even this extra 5 games of experience there in the solos format is going to be absolutely fantastic there for the young Grizzly.
Oh, no, absolutely. So, and here we have the leg. Someone we haven't seen yet really make a mark. He's actually first at the moment. So having a really good start.
Well, he missed last year's nationals. He didn't come over to Albury. I think we last saw him in Adelaide.
Yes.
The year before. But no, he's been doing really great. Like, he's sitting maybe middle of the pack at the moment. Hasn't had amazing games, but this one at the moment he's sitting right out in front there as well.
No, absolutely. And surprisingly, Ninja at the bottom of the pack with Butsa as well.
Butsa dead last.
I
can't believe I've ever said that in a grand final before.
But Lakio's still up there. Lakio is currently sitting in third place.
Wow.
We've got Guinea up
Incredible.
there. Wax is up there as well. I think that Wax is probably sitting around the 4th or 5th mark at the moment. So Wax is playing the long game, which, you know, we said at the beginning of the stream. I think that that's probably what he'll do, because he probably won't have the cardio of a Ninja.
Lakio's first.
But now Lakio's is this the time where we call he's gone instinct, or
Ibo's said we're looking at the most dominant solos victory ever.
that's ridiculous. Like, I mean, if he wins this, and then if he wins the last game, he has won every game.
All 5 games.
All 5 games.
Absolutely.
Now,
that is absolutely incredible.
Let's. I know we need to try and give everyone else props, and we're going to try and do that. But Lakio's drop game. What's the score on Lakio's drop game? Just remind me again.
It's like 5.5K, something like that.
When you drop game, it's 5.5K.
It's I think it's 5.9,
5.9.
like that.
So
Nearly
let's round up.
6,000 points.
Lakio's drop game is 6,000 points, ladies and gentlemen.
That is
that's
amazing.
And that's not his high game. That's his lowest
That's his
game.
lowest of 3. And again, so he's sitting over 3,000 points there.
Already.
We're not even halfway through this game as well. That score is only going to go up.
It's just climbing.
Right. So you surely they know Lakio is ahead. What can you do?
The thing is that if you're in that arena, and if you see Lakio, you have to make a judgment call. You have to make a judgment call of, do I want to try and take pack away from Lakio? Because let's face it, if you're down for 6 seconds, and if you're up and you can tag another 2, 3, potentially 4 people if it's super busy while Lakio was down, you're just catching up. And you're taking pack points away from him. Because by the time he comes back up, they're all dead.
Yeah.
But is Lakio dominating enough that that's just not possible? That he just knows where you are?
Well, that's the thing. Like, if this holds out, he is by far the best player in the arena. What are you going to do? Like, have someone else better than him to hunt him down? You're just maybe going to be feeding him points.
The thing is right now, who in that arena can hunt him down? So we'll rule out the obvious ones, which is going to be Butsa and going to be Ninja. Who else in that arena do you think has the skill to take Lakio and push him? So I'll throw a name out there. I reckon Moldy can do it to a point.
Yep.
But I don't think Moldy can completely overtake him.
No.
But I think Moldy can interrupt him enough to try and maybe rattle the cage.
I think that Yor absolutely has what it takes to do that.
Purely from a size difference, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's twice the size of Lakey. Like,
Just-
absolutely massive.
He's a big boy. He's a big
He
unit.
is absolutely huge. But I also think that Yor is not the type of player to play that game.
No.
Again, I think that Yor is going in there. He is doing it purely by himself. He is trying to do the absolute number one thing for him. All he's worrying about is getting as most tags as he can. But it doesn't matter where he is. Again, Yor's
Can I just
sitting
point
in
out,
second place. at
Lakey
the
was
moment.
sitting on almost 200% tag ratio.
That's incredible. He's just not dying. He's just not dying.
I'm done, guys. I don't need to commentate.
It.
See you
He is. Yeah, that's it. Like we may as well like. It's a pity. It's a pity this
Turn the stream
4-game
off.
series is this 5-game
Just-
series is done at 4 because like I don't Gaza.
Gaza.
First time up in number 1.
Oh.
There we go. Maybe that's the one.
There's the
Maybe
moves.
Gaza is doing something. It's probably a little bit too late for him to be featuring up in the top there, but he is doing incredibly well as well. Seeing a 125% tag ratio. He must have gone on a massive run over that last little bit there, getting several tags.
But he's not that far ahead. Yor is right there as well. Wax is right there as well.
Now the real question is there anyone that is going to take a game off Lakeo? Stick in the chat now if you want to tip and see if someone is going to beat Lakeo and who it is going to be.
We've only got about a minute and a half to 2 minutes left, and Lakeo's just taken over.
He's just gone back over.
Again. You know, he's now a couple tags in front of Gaza again. Even more now. We just saw him tick over again. The story, Butsa, he must be just getting targeted. He must have multiple people going, that's the threat, that's who I need to look at and go. And no one I just identified Lakeo as the threat.
Yeah.
But surely someone has.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling they know. They absolutely know. And we're going to find out very soon that everyone is going to know.
Absolutely.
There
Bakura topping the accuracy point at 64. Wax at 51. That's actually really good for 4th place player, and half of his shots are actually hitting targets. That's actually really well played by Wax there as well. It's just not translating into scores. Yours just overtaken. Yours just topped us 6K.
Oh, the perfect streak is broken.
Oh, Yor has
takes
just broken the streak.
Second in
But
there.
if you think about it, that's
It's
probably that's yours top game,
That's yours drop game.
and that's a drop.
That's it.
So the game that Lakeo
The
gets beaten
only-
in technically doesn't even count.
So even if Lakeo scores less than, what was it, 5,900 points in his... That will become his new drop game. He is going to walk out of there with a 6,000 point average. Yor is the... We'll be back.
We'll be back, guys. We've got to mute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are in the last game.
Do you want me to open up to the foyer because I'm letting all the players in and I'm going to be announcing the results from
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to see if we can get this commentary cam out and around there, so we are going to be able to see there. We have just been told that we're going to be announcing the results live to all of the players. Simi, if you can ask them to be quiet when they come in here so we can keep talking on the stream, and we'll be able to do that for them as well.
Oh, that was a clean game too, guys.
Yeah, cool, thank you.
So here we are. We're just setting up there. We've got some drinks visible. You can see our text.
The professionalism of our technical
That's
department.
it.
Hiding behind the green screen.
Tex Jesse, hello.
There it is.
Thanks, Tex.
Oh.
We are letting the players
Now-
back in for this as well.
Magcans is leading the way.
Wow.
One of the players who was probably heavily tipped to do well, as well as Husky. Husky leading the way as well. Lakio at the bottom of the pack. Do you think that Lakio just knows at this point?
I don't know. I don't think it matters. We went through some history there. There is only one player that has got an average score above 6,000 points in a solos final before. We've only had about 4 or 5 players get average even over 5,000 points. The anomaly, of course, Butz's victory in Adelaide.
The year before Brisbane, 2016.
Brisbane.
So let me just quickly break down some stats for you guys. 2018, the winner of solos won with an average score of 5,300. Lakio's already beaten that. The winner of 2017, 5,100. Lakio's already beaten.
Lakio's drop game beats that.
Lakio's drop game beats
His
that.
drop game beats that.
2016, so Brisbane, where Butzer won. Average score of 6,200. Here's the anomaly with that. Butzer's drop game was 4,300. Lakio hasn't scored that low yet.
If Lakio scores under 4,300 there in this game, I mean, he's on track to do that above Owen,
He's on track
but
to
he
be
is-
the most dominant solos victory in
Ever.
recent
Ever.
history, probably ever. 2014, 4,900, 1 U solos.
Didn't break 5K.
4,900, 1 U solos.
Didn't even break
2013, 5,000, 1 U solos. This just, I just want to really show the story of how well Lakio has played 4 ridiculously hard games of laser tag. Now, Lakio is coming 21st.
Second last at the moment. One
Do you
above
think?
Butzer.
Do you think he knows? Do you
I
think
don't know.
he's just going? You know
I don't know.
what? I
He's-
think I've done enough.
He's having fun.
He's having
He is
fun
celebrating,
now.
he is
Or
partying.
is
Or he's
everyone
crashed.
else, or has everyone else realised that? Oh crap! I need to stop Lakio now
I mean, he
in
might.
game 5.
No, but he might also have crashed.
He might also
He might have run
crashed.
out of energy.
He might have run out of energy.
That is entirely possible as well.
Absolutely.
But I think he knows. He knows that this is his drop game.
Yeah.
He knows that it doesn't matter
But
what he does.
Wax is actually having now. Let's face it. We're now playing for second and third.
All right, who is it? Who's second and third?
I want Wax to make a showing. I truly do. I truly want Wax to have a dominant game,
Yep.
and I truly want Wax to come second or third.
Yep.
And I want Husky up there as well. I know I'm doing the traditional Queenslander thing and barracking for the Queenslanders and all that type of stuff. Yeah, whatever. The Wolfpack guys, after training with them hard for over a year after Albury Nationals, they deserve this.
Yeah.
They absolutely deserve
Absolutely.
this. And I'm so glad that Lakio is leading the way. He's probably one of the quietest people, one of the ones that kind of flows under the
fantastic.
radar, but
Absolutely.
he is so good. So good.
Fantastic.
He's just
Captain
risen.
of the Wolfpack, the captain of the national champion team at the moment as
He's
well.
risen to a completely different level now, and it's just ridiculous.
All right, enough about Lakio. We need to stop talking
But
about
Lakio, yeah, and
All right, who else? All right, Moldy.
Moldy
has been doing
should be there.
fantastic so far.
No, absolutely. I would expect Moldy to place second or third because he has been up there consistently throughout the other games.
The other person who has been doing really well, just my noticing, is Yor.
Yes.
Yor. He's maybe a little bit off the pace, and again, sitting 15th in this game is probably not going to help him out there.
Yeah.
As we said, his drop game in the first one or so was really not very good.
Yeah.
So if he's having to count this game, then that will put him out of there. But again, there are so many people that, you know, can be taking in those second and third place trophies. And really, essentially, that is what we are looking for in this. Lake Yo sitting 20th, 1,800 points. There is absolutely no way he doesn't know he's won. Gaza sitting up in second place.
Oh.
This will be a really, really good showing for him. He'll be really pleased with this final game. He hasn't had an amazing grand final series so far, but coming out there with a second place in one of the games or so, coming out with a fantastic looking final game is going to make him feel really great for the rest of the week.
No, absolutely. Do you think that Ninja is coming third at the moment?
Yeah.
What does Ninja have to do to place? Can Ninja do anything to place at this point in time? Or will the score that Ninja needs to move up the ladder be so high that it's already going to eclipse what he's done and become another drop game?
It's another drop game.
It's another drop game. Ninja, unfortunately, has just fallen out of the picture. You know, and it's a shame. It's worked so hard. Just to give you that insider again from a Queensland point of view. But I think maybe the pressure of him being one of, or being started to consider. I think someone actually said the other. I've heard Ninja referred to as the best Helios Pro player in Australia.
Yeah.
Maybe that pressure started to get to him a bit too much.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I mean, maybe his new health regime is maybe it's too much for him.
Yeah.
You're is sitting in third.
Right.
So
If your places in this game, your secures a placing. But he needs to not take the gas off at any stage. He needs to push forward now. He needs to work hard.
He is backing off his third place finish at Albury
How
last
cool
year.
would that be even if he gets another third?
to second. Yeah.
You know, even if he gets or even if he goes from third to second, how cool is that for you to say I've travelled halfway across the world and I'm taking out titles? You know, that's
format,
super cool.
in a format that they don't play at home. They've obviously had their training in our things, but they're not used to this. We've already spoken about how the Europeans play their solos in a very different way to how we do. It's a kind of a different culture over there as well. But for him to come out here and just prove that he's the absolute beast in the machine and able to take out that many tags in the arena there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Ninja has just opened up the faucet now. He's decided that he wants at least
5-5.
one victory. He is sitting on 5-5. I think what Ninja wants now, Ninja gets a personal victory if he top scores the whole of Solos Finals now.
Yep.
That's maybe what Ninja needs to do, just to take a little bit of pressure off himself and go, you know what? Yeah, Lake Yo won, but hey, I got the best score out of the comp. So maybe that's what he needs to do.
That is it. That is the final fifth game of the ZLTAC Solos Grand Final for 2019. Coming to you live from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia.
Alright, we're going to announce these results really, really quick.
We're going to announce the results
Really quick. We are being told, because we need to get team games going.
Oh, that's not why. It's just because before everyone blabs.
Yep.
And before everyone blabs.
Well, begin.
Well, I'm just waiting for the printout. Players, don't go too far. We are doing results in just a few seconds.
So we will try and get the top three places. Have they got the scoreboard? They've already got the scoreboard up, Drake. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, but good idea though.
Alright, so I don't know if you can get me. I've got no mic.
Round of applause, guys, for the finalists.
Congratulations to everyone that
We are going to try and get the three finalists here for a quick chat as well, just to get their breakdowns of the game.
Guys, how this for the players? How this is going to work? When I get the finalists up, you want them to all of the players that have
Yeah, get all of them up.
Get them all up.
Alright, so all the players who are in, as I call your name and your position, you're going to come past and you're going to wave at everybody at home. Okay? That's apparently not just going to work. So all the players make sure you get
Probably not going to work.
Can you even see me? No.
Yeah, really.
That's all right. That's right. Just announce the results.
I don't want to touch that. To be honest, it took us a while to get that. So. Damn limited space. But yeah, we definitely should try and come up with a solution for. Excellent. Well, for doubles. Yes, midget. Let's see all the sweat. It's going to be some very sweaty people coming over here.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are going to try and get several of our players in for a quick chat there. Fingers crossed we can get our podium finishers over here for a quick chat about there as well. But they're going to be wanting to get back out there to be celebrating with all of their players.
Seashell came in for the games. Just see something into real life. Well, yeah, you missed the games. I'm
missed
so
out
sorry. But in about
grand
15
finals.
minutes' times, we will be continuing the round 1 Robin games, going through to about 11:30, quarter to 12 local time. So still plenty of action coming up,
games.
guys. And very interesting, guys. Lots of murmurs amongst the players that have come out that they feel that Lakio did win. So that's very interesting.
Pretty, they know.
They know. It's I'm actually looking at Ninja now. He knows. I think he absolutely knows. It's heartbreaking to see someone like that.
Here we go, guys. In 22nd place, 2,920. Falcon, well done.
Falcon officially finishing in 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Well done, Jimmy. He's too tall to see his face. So.
3,317. Raven.
And our host site operator, Raven.
In 20th, 3,573. Fitzy.
Well done to Fitzy.
19th is Method with 3,577.
And Method in 19th position.
18th is Xylitol with 3,600.
Zyatol, our international Finland player in 18th. Well done, my friend. Well done.
In 17th with 3,663. Butsa.
Wutsa, 17th.
In 16th at 3,773. Wamfox.
Wham. Lots of love, lots of support for Wham here.
Well done for Wham, one of the techs there as well. Well done.
With 3,913. Mingless.
Mingless as well had a fantastic series as well coming from Adelaide.
In 14th with 4,027. Guinea.
Ginny off of Werribee one up.
13th with 4,073. Gaza.
Gaz off the WA Sharks.
Well done to Gaza. That's a really good showing.
Fantastic finish. That's good.
In 12th with 4,150. Bakura.
The Kuro with the
dab on
dab.
stream.
In 11th with 4,197. Blitz.
Blitz just missing out on the top 10. Well done, Blitz. Well done, mate.
In 10th with 4,233. Dexter.
Dexter from GP in top 10.
Well done.
Well done.
In 9th with 4,353. Madcap.
And Magpants in 9th place.
Captain of the Spartans there.
In 8th with 4,367. Margie.
Margie for 8th place. It was a great showing by Margie.
Well done for the Cobras there.
In 7th with 4,473. Husky.
Husky, the first Wolfpack player in the comp. 7th place.
First
Well
one.
done.
Yeah.
Our second
In
Wolfpack.
6th with
See, we always forget that word.
4,490. The leg.
Well done to Nick. The leg on this one as
Played
well.
awesome series. Nick.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done.
In 5th with 4,630. Ninja.
Ninja in 5th position.
Position for Ninja.
Well done to Ninja. You heard the audience very surprised.
Just missing out on a trophy.
60 Moldy.
Moldy!
Just missing out.
Moldy!
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
So, our predictions, Wax,
your next three people up to the stage. Wax, Legio, and Jaw.
so your back-to-back solos.
Getting some trophies.
Well done to your.
Wax getting his first solos trophy, along with Lakio as well.
Now, do the Wolfpack have the 1-2? This is the question.
Do we think it is? Move over this way, guys. Move over this way a bit so we can
Guys,
see.
the stream want to see you.
Move over this way.
Face this way.
We want to be able to see you at least. And you can
That
face
two of them are
there.
too tall!
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so in third with 4,840. Jaw.
Back-to-back third place for your. Well done. Wolfpack with the 1-2.
In second place at 4,960. Wax.
And
Lakio is your official champion. ZLTAC Solos coming here.
Over a grand ahead. Our new solo champion, Legio, with 5,000.
Over 1,000 points in the lead. Lakio taking out first place. Congratulations to Lakio. What an absolutely incredible effort. He did so amazing. Husky has picked up Lakio and is throwing him around. Oh, there's celebrations here. Oh, Lakio, come here, take a seat. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Move in a little bit closer. That was absolutely amazing. Tell us a little bit about the games.
Honestly, I thought Ninja was in the points the whole time. Every time I saw him, he was alive and tagging people. I sit myself in the middle of the arena, and I don't know, just managed to pick up some points.
Did you know? Did you know that you'd won?
In the past, I was pretty happy with myself, and didn't end up turning out as good as I thought. So this year, I was just trying to keep myself humble.
Fingers crossed, and maybe you can do it.
Yeah, I knew the first 4 games were pretty strong. That last game.
Talk
that
us
was
through the last game. What happened in that one?
So after the third game, Margie started targeting me because he kind of saw.
So Margie was the one that started targeting you.
Yeah. So he kind of saw what was going on.
Yep.
So I had to start moving from different positions that I never played for the whole day.
So even for that third and fourth game, you were playing in a different position.
Yeah.
That fourth game was still an absolutely amazing and incredible score as well for that.
Yeah.
Like, fantastic. It is by far, we were going through some of the statistics earlier.
Yeah.
That is by far the most dominant that anyone has ever been in a solos grand final as well. It is absolutely incredible effort. You ended up winning by over 1,000 points in the end. It was just absolutely known, even by the third game, everyone at home was like, this is Lakio's competition. It was just an absolutely incredible position. Congratulations.
Excellent.
Well done. And it is just, if you have anything you want to say to the viewers back home, they have been fantastic. They've all been cheering for you the entire time. Congratulations.
Look, it's incredible. Thanks, guys, for watching in. This wouldn't be possible without you guys, so thank you very much.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
We're going to try and get someone else in there. Go off and celebrate with your team and everyone else.
For team games, because we've already called it the first team.
Oh, all right.
So we have to move along.
All right. But yeah,
We can't get your unfortunate because he's about to play a team game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Poor guy.
Incredible.
But we will have Cyrex and I believe Popeyes coming in to commentate for the team games, guys. So we're just going to quickly switch off here and reset and get everything ready. So thank you very much for tuning in. Stay tuned for the continuation of round 2. We will be catching up with you soon. Stay tuned, guys.
Thanks for joining us. We've been Cougar and Drake. We've been coming to you live here from the ZLTAC 2019 Day 2 for the Solos Grand Final here in the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. Thank you very much.